Yo, what is up? So, I thought I'd actually have to do another video just explaining why my CPU usage was so high in two games. So, this first one here, Expedition 33. So, I was wondering what was going on, but now I've found the problem. The problem was OBS. In certain games, it was just literally almost tripling my CPU usage as soon as I started to record. And it turns out it's a setting because on Windows I actually use the AMD video encoder, and for NVIDIA I use the NVIDIA one. So they both have their dedicated video encoder. But on Linux, on CachyOS, any distro you use on Linux, the only option I had was actually the software encoder, which comes with OBS. So it seemed like it was fine on Silent Hill F and the other game, Silent Hill 2. It was completely fine. So it didn't actually affect any benchmarks on that. But unfortunately, it seems to have slightly affected this game, Expedition 33. And I knew something was up with Stalker anyway. I thought it was possibly the Proton drivers on Linux, but no, it only happens when I record with OBS, and I fixed it now anyway. So how I fixed it was there's two settings on OBS. So for Linux I will use the lower CPU usage with the recording. So that was the only setting I had to change, and then it totally fixed it. So again, I literally didn't expect that setting to, I thought at worst it will probably possibly make the image quality a bit worse, but then it's not about image quality, it's about performance with these benchmarks I was doing between Windows and Linux. So unfortunately I'm going to have to test two games again. I won't be doing Stalker 2 in this video, I'll do it next week when I get some more time. And I do actually plan on doing some more games because, I mean, I want accurate tests. So, like everyone else, it feels like a mistake, but then it was literally an understandable mistake, I think. I mean, I don't make too many mistakes when I'm doing these testings. So, at the end of the day, I didn't expect that to happen with that. That is unbelievable that it was literally tripling my CPU usage in certain games anyway, like Stalker 2. And then it did slightly affect Expedition 33. But you will see Windows is still faster anyway. So it was only like 3 FPS difference on Expedition 33. And then Windows, that actually got 91 FPS. So Windows was still faster on that, so slightly affected it. The biggest difference was obviously Stalker 2. So that video is still relevant because there is literally that CPU usage didn't happen, the high CPU usage in Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill F. So that was, I don't understand why certain games it was doing it, but that's definitely going to be fixed going forward. So that's a good thing. I'm pleased off. Literally, it was thanks to a subscriber actually who said it could be OBS. So thanks to that subscriber, he or she. So at least I've fixed it. So everything I test now on Linux, I know it won't be tripling my CPU usage, because that was annoying me a bit. So as you can see on these screenshots, it was way too high. I mean, I was thinking, well, what the hell is going on there? So anyway, so what I'm going to show now is the Expedition retest. So as you will see, it will just score slightly higher. So we'll have a look at that. So whenever I feel like I've uploaded something wrong, I will actually make sure I put it right. So that's what I like to do, because obviously I pride myself in telling people the truth and sharing my true experience. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a retest on this, although it wasn't a massive difference anyway, and Windows still won. I just wanted to give a more accurate test, as accurate as I can get anyway. So I've done exactly the same run. And another thing, it's not like a rage baiting video against Linux users or whatever. I mean, it's not Windows versus Linux in any sort of toxic way. For me, it's like out of pure curiosity to see the differences. That's why I do it. It just fascinates me to see the difference. So I know some people get like sort of butthurt about it, but for me, that's all it is really. It's not. There's nothing malicious about it. So as you can see, it was 84 FPS at the end of it, and previously at the end of my Windows run, it was 91 FPS average. The lows did drop actually, but that is because on Windows, when I load into a new area, they just drop. But I haven't noticed that to happen actually on Linux, so it's just different. On Afterburn, it just seems to reset by a fair bit. So that is a difference, and I do want to look into the 1% lows as well. So, and literally, sure enough, that is what I found on this game, Callisto Protocol. So I did find the 1% lows to be lower than CachyOS. So I've done the same benchmark run. Another thing is I will actually put the 1% lows top right now. I did actually. This is a brand new test, by the way, so we'll be testing this game and Stellar Blade. So these are like games I tested once I fixed the CPU usage with OBS. So now that shouldn't be shooting up like triple what it should be. So I'm glad I fixed that. You saw a stutter there. You do get stutters in this game anyway, but I did get a slight stutter on the CachyOS, but then it didn't feel literally half as bad, and it didn't knock the lows down by this much. So that's literally what I was talking about in my other video. I want to see if it is a lot smoother on certain games like Oblivion Remastered, possibly Silent Hill F as I get further into the game. So it's very fascinating to me to see if there is a difference. I mean, if it was a lot smoother, that is definitely an advantage for like Linux, CachyOS, whatever you're using. So that's literally what I want to find out. People tell me it's smoother on Linux. So if it turns out to be smoother, I could well be playing this game on Linux. So I'm using FSR2 because I literally didn't have too much time. It was getting late. I can get FSR4 on this game, by the way. I did the video, but I just thought I'd just do a FSR2 comparison. It doesn't look the worst on this game, to be honest. But definitely I'm interested in the smoothness difference. Maybe that is I mean, even if it does lose against Windows with the average FPS, if you're getting a smoother experience, I think that's probably better, to be honest. For me it would be. So yeah, if you look at it like that. But then Windows wins what I'm seeing most of the time. So you got a little stutter there, but then it didn't knock the lows down by that much. So if you, for the sake of losing like 5 FPS or something, but you get smoother experience, maybe that's the way to look at it. I mean, actually on this game, I would have to say CachyOS is probably the better experience if the lows are going to be better, and it's only lost by, I think it was 3 FPS, wasn't it? I think it was 94 FPS, the Windows score. So for me, I'll probably take that on this game, because there is a ton of stutters on it, and it is very annoying, and you literally feel them, because it's like a 1 second sort of freeze in the game. So maybe I should play it on CachyOS this game. So the last test I wanted to do was Stellar Blade. So I've done the same thing. I've done the same run, and interestingly enough, the 1% lows on this game were exactly the same. So this is FSR4. So the average FPS turned out to be a lot better, but it was like 20 FPS or so, but the lows were the same, so I found that quite interesting. So even at a lower FPS on CachyOS, it does seem to have possibly better 1% lows, or it at least matches it, which is good. So that just makes me want to try and game on Linux a bit more, just to see what the reality is. It's one thing people telling you it's great, it's better, but then I always find it's best to look at it yourself just to make sure. So obviously the games like the anti-cheat games like Battlefield 6, I would continue to play that on Windows because I literally haven't got any choice. But the games that do work fine, I will definitely. I'm going to look to play them more on CachyOS and just look at the 1% lows closely, see what the experience is like. So as you can see, top right, the 1% lows were 76, and then the average FPS was 143 FPS. I believe on the Linux run it was about 122 FPS average, and the lows are actually exactly the same. So what it does, it makes me want to test more games going forward on Linux, and just to compare the differences. So I'm still finding Windows to be faster in the average FPS in total, especially in this game. But then, as I say, there are like the smoothness is a big factor for me in certain games. So I'll definitely upload some more videos. Like I think I'm gonna have to do Oblivion Remastered because I'm quite interested to see the differences on that. Hogwarts Legacy I'm gonna do. I'll try and do some more popular games. Callisto Protocol was a personal choice of mine, because I literally haven't completed it and I do like the game. So I was just wondering, out of my interest, just to see what it actually would play better on Windows or CachyOS. So it's quite interesting that for me. So I think that's pretty much it. I will do some more videos this coming week, and we'll see. It's going to be interesting for me, and definitely for other people, I think. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.